with corruption. On page 4 of the Standard this morning, NLC behind 15 billion train land racket. Valuers accused of colluding with residents to exaggerate property prices for share of pay. And as much as the fight on corruption goes on, that's on page 4 of the Standard, as much as the fight on corruption goes on, Michael Agwanda, it looks like this corruption, as much as it will be fought from the top, it is normally a collaboration between the top and those in between. If we look at this, the land there has been exaggerated, according to that article, by some of the sellers in collusion with those who, of course, are going to make the payments.
Mike, this idea of just arresting the chairman of NLC and then you say, we've done a good job, that's a big fish. No. It's wrong. If you want these kind of things to continue, then you arrest the chairman and you let him go, and then you leave his deputy there, deputy chairman, and you leave the other commissioners there, and then you leave the surveyors there. The people who are implementing these things are not Sozuri. Sozuri only signs a big check, and of course he knows some of this corruption that are taking place here. He knows, he's privy to them, because we are all Kenyans. We live in this society, we live in this community, and so when you leave the deputy to take over, the question is, isn't it business as usual? You still leave those valuers that will go down there and value the property and talk to the business. Let me tell you, when they inflate the figures and say, oh, your house has a swimming pool, it is a 6-bedroom ensuite, while it's just a small-story building. What they're trying to tell you is, look, I will give you 112 million, as for in this case, and then I need, 30 million back, and that 30 million, we have to share it with Wakubwa, and you never know, you never get to know these Wakubwas, who they are. I mean, NLC is costing this country a lot of money. It's costing every individual in this country that pays tax a lot of money already. If you took Sozuri out, I would have expected that you change the valuers, you change the land officers that have been seconded into this thing, you change the commissioners. The part of these commissioners should have gone. If you leave them in that office, they will now steal in the last leg, because they know their contract will not be renewed at all. And so these guys are literally the ones that are making the cost of building railway line so exorbitant. And yet you and I will have to pay for that debt. That debt is for every Kenyan. The question here is, why do we continue allowing thieves and thugs that are in NLC to continue ripping this country through fictitious valuation and buying properties that belongs to Kenya Railway? Well, I want to congratulate Nordin Haji for a good job done. But sometimes you also need to make changes in some of these places, not just to arrest the one person and say this is a top-notch thief and we're going to prosecute him, but also look at the people who have been necessitating this stealing. And these stealings are done by some of those small people that are in those offices. And therefore, NLC will continue costing this country a lot of billions, and it must be stopped now. If we continue to pretend that we don't know how they're stealing, then we're wasting our time. Go for these guys. And especially, when did we stop encouraging people to give us information in exchange of even some gift so that we can nab the wrong people in this country? These people are known. They are known. When they're going to collude with the people on the ground, they are known. Why can't we give the residents even tapes to tape them so that they can be taken to court and serious people employed to do this work?
All right, Weda, one of the biggest problems that we have as a country is fighting cartels, because evidently this is not work that is done by one person. It is a whole network of people that come together to collude, and that's why the government has reached a point where now they need to raise a lot of money. It's basically a ripple effect, and at some point we need to realize as Kenyans we are paying for the sins that we've been committing all along.
I think cartels are fairly well entrenched, and they come all the way from the top. If you look at the NLC, I saw compensation, just genuine compensation to an institution that I was associated. And some small piece of land, less than quarter an acre somewhere, I saw they were paying 6 million. I said, thank God, I just wish I had land along the railway. Because land which I would ordinarily buy at 500,000 to 600,000, I saw they paid 4 million. So these cartels, they have captured various sectors of the economy and of government. They are there in the sugar sector, they are there in the international trade, they are there in the land sector, they are there in government, and they have taken all these areas hostage. When you talk about Nurdin, Nurdin is also taken hostage to some level. You get it?
Who's holding him hostage?
He should tell us. But you see...
But it is an independent office, and he is acting on evidence. By the time he orders for somebody to be arrested, there is evidence on the table.
What about Rarakaland?
What about
that one? Money just came out from the treasury and just disappeared like that, and it's quiet. Now, when you look at it with the trained eye, then you can see and say, here now, this is a stake, this is a stake, this is a stake. It only depends whether your side of the cartels are in charge. If your wing of the cartels are in charge, then you are safe. If they are no longer in charge, you pay the price. The cartels keeps on shifting. Today it is cartel A, tomorrow it is cartel B, it's cartel C. Until such time that we will want to focus on the country. The president may mean very well. He may mean well, he may want the country to move forward, but he is alone.